Alright guys, welcome to the Pinterest training. So you guys probably don't know what Pinterest is, correct? Alright, so Pinterest is a new social media website that's out there that you can take pictures, upload them to the site, and it's just another way to engage with more people in a different way. Alright, we've all done Facebook and it's status updates where we're at, right? We do use photos sometimes, we probably use Instagram for that, but there really isn't a lot of link traffic back from Facebook to your website. Okay, I mean you can get it, but it's a little bit more difficult, and with Pinterest it makes it much easier to do it, and there's a lot of engagement on the website. And let's face it, real estate is boring when it comes to pictures and things like that, right? So there's a couple of tricks I'm going to show you today. One you'll be able to do with your iPhone or whatever type of device that you have, okay? And then the other one is if you want the real polished look, is these are the ones that you'll be able to edit in Photoshop, which I'll show you today. You can use, your real big, nice $600 camera. I have a Nikon Coolpix P500, I believe. Ran me about 600 bucks, but it allows me to take the real big shots. I can do, I think it goes up to like 18 megapixels on the picture size, so I can get real big shots, real crisp detail with them, and then I'll dump them in Photoshop and edit them. And the same thing you can do with your iPhone or your Droid, whatever you guys have. You'll be able to take these images, and with the app that I'll show you today, it'll allow you to make the changes to it. It's called HDR toning. Okay. Now, true HDR is a little bit harder to do and more work to do, but this HDR toning is going to give you that same type of effect that you want. So how many of you have seen those pictures that look unreal, but they are real? Have you seen those ones? Like probably you've seen the one for my Facebook page for the office. It looks really just too overwhelming, but it's still a real photo. Okay, so I'll be able to show you how to do that with one touch in Photoshop. You don't even have to know how to do it. Photoshop will do it for you. And the same thing with your iPhone or whatever mobile device that you have. There's an app out there that's called Camera 360. It's actually free, which is nice. And it'll give you a bunch of different options to choose from as far as effects. But the one that we'll mainly be using is HDR, because it will give you the cleaner, that image, that crisp image that you're looking for, that kind of oversaturated look that makes everyone look at it, because that's what you want. You take a regular picture of a house, it's just a picture of a house. You make the sky look bright blue and this grass look neon green, and the orange tile roof look real orange. It becomes something more that people are going to stop and look at it, versus it's not really anything. And the big thing for Pinterest is link building. Okay, yeah, you're going to be able to get leads directly from it, but the biggest part of it is, for me, and the reason why I'm teaching it, is you want to build your links back to your website. Because if you know anything about internet marketing, you have to have a lot of backlinks, and Pinterest is that new website out there that's going to give you a lot of backlinks to your site to help improve your rankings. So number one, when you take pictures of houses, what are you going to include in the description of the property for that picture? The address. So people type in the address, boom, they can find your Pinterest account, right? That might be the number one thing that pops up. Number two, if they find that picture and it looks good and it says, for more information, visit excellencerehomes.com, and they go there, what does that do? It tells Google or any search engine that, hey, they found this property address on Pinterest, but Pinterest sent them to this website, and that's where they ended up staying at. So the way Google does it and the way most other search engines do it is this: if they're going to go back to this website, to your website, for more information regarding that search term, that address, then you obviously must have better information than Pinterest. So what happens? Your site gets ranked higher than Pinterest. Even though Pinterest is the main thing that had it, because they're sending the traffic to you, they're going to give you that juice out of it. Okay, I've been doing this with the virtual tours on YouTube. It's the same effect. Yeah, they'll find it in YouTube, but if you do it well enough, they're going to find it on your website. Okay, and that's what you want. You want everything to be directed back to your website. It doesn't matter how great your Facebook fan page is, how good your Pinterest account is, Twitter, none of that stuff matters. Everything needs to link back to your website. Number one reason for that. Anyone know? Want to take a guess? Well, ranking. Number one thing is, if everyone goes back to your website, eventually everyone's going to just go to your website, right? They're not going to have to go to Facebook or this or that. And the other thing is, if they're on these other websites, they're only one click away from losing your content, right? So if they're on your page and they see a post of somebody else's picture, they're gone doing something else and they lost your attention. But if they're on your site, they're only going to be on your site. So that's the importance of it. So Pinterest, I'll spell it out for you, is PINTEREST.com. And then you can also link this up with your Facebook and your Twitter account. Right? So you upload it up into Pinterest and you'll be able to automatically share it to your Facebook and Twitter account. Okay, and you can do the same thing on the go with your mobile device. You can do the same thing. So Pinterest gives you a nice bunch of different things to choose from. You can go on here and you can kind of get lost because there's a lot of cool pictures that are on here. You know, there's a iPhone projector that's out there. It's like $200. It clips on and it could do the same thing as this does. I could do a whole presentation off of it. So there's really cool things that you wouldn't normally see unless you found it on here, because everyone's sharing all their cool images on here. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing with our photos. So you got to do what they call boards. Now forgive me if I kind of jump around a little bit. This is my first presentation on Pinterest. So over here on the right hand side, after you create an account, it'll say boards. And I'm just going to show you real quick. These are some of my boards. So I got favorite recipes of food, things for the home, just cool stuff for the wall, products that I love, you know, cool things. This is that iPhone projector I was talking about. So there's a lot of cool things that are out there. And then I have my own board right here, so my real estate ventures. Okay, that's what I wanted to call it, because it's not just going to be my listings I take pictures of, but if it's a good day and I can get a picture of a property just got an offer accepted on, or a property I'm showing, or whatever the case may be, I'm going to take it, I'm going to edit it, I'm going to put it up on Pinterest and get it going. The more you have, the more that you can get found, the better it is for you and your website. Okay, so right now I only have 15 pins, don't have too many. I show property mostly at night, so it makes it tough. But here is one photo. So you can see that it's altered, right? This image I actually did with, you probably can't see it too well, it doesn't look too crisp on there. But this image I edited on with the iPhone, okay, with the Camera 360 app. And my best looking photo is the one of my office, which you guys have already all seen before, which is that one. I'll show you guys on my computer afterwards what it looks like. But these are the types of images that you're going to want to be putting on there. And again, you're always going to be putting the property address, and again, always the link. So if I click the link, where do I go? I should be going to my website if I put the link in correctly. Boom, there I am. So if I would have searched for that property address, found Pinterest, clicked on my link, that would have all counted for me. Okay, and I'll give you a flavor of my traffic. Everything that I do, about 65% of it all comes from Google. Very little of it comes from Facebook, very little of it comes from Twitter, very little of it comes from anywhere else besides Google. Okay, my next biggest contender will probably be Craigslist, and I only post on there about 5 or 6 times a month. Okay, and then third would probably be my email marketing. So everyone thinks Facebook is really huge, and then I'm the king on it, and that I get a ton of traffic out of it, but it's really small compared to everything else that I do. Okay, and everything you want to do is, again, you want to attack Google. Okay, that's what you want. You want your website and Google to be married together. You want those two things to be the number one thing. Because if Google loves you, they're going to keep sending you nice referrals all the time. And if people are searching and searching and always keep finding you, they're just going to say, why do I keep searching for it? I can find it all on this website. Right? You guys do that. You search for stuff, find it all. I'm just going to stay here and look for it. I'm tired of searching for it. It's probably on here. So that's one of the main things with all that. Good with this part?
Question on the board.
Yeah.
Does the public see that or just you?
Public sees it all.
Okay.
Yeah, this is all going to be public stuff. You can do, I think they call it secret boards. I guess you could put naughty photos of yourself or something, but my word of advice, if it's on the internet, it's public, whether there's a password behind it or not. So if you're gonna, put up a picture of you and your dantadas or whatever you're doing, don't put it on the internet.
I won't put my fantasy board up. I have a question.
Yes.
On the links back, do you always link it back to your main page, or is there different pages within your
You can do both. For right now, I'm just linking it back to my main page because I don't have listing page for each of these properties that I show. I should be, however, on my listings, be linking it directly back to the link for that page. Okay, so this listing, all these listings right here, I don't have that, which is shame on me, but you guys should be doing that. As you guys are doing it, put the links going directly back to that page. That way it does link up much better together, and you're not going to lose that person. Okay.
It's easy to do, right?
Yeah. All you got to do is just go to your website. So my website's Excellence RE Homes. I think I have featured properties right here. And then, okay, here's my next one. So just click on the page that you want to go to. And then up on the top, all you got to do is copy that link. Okay, and then put that in there, and that's the direct link to that page for that property. And then again, everything will match up. So if I have this picture on Pinterest and they come here, it's going to be all the same info, 12750, blah, blah, blah. More information, get my YouTube video. It's going to start working for me very well. Okay.
Can you do that for listings that even if they're not your listings?
Technically, you can. I mean, I would probably call the listing agent on a virtual tour just to see if it's okay. I mean, most of them are going to say go ahead and do it because they don't really care. You might meet one or two. I would focus on probably the higher end like REO agents or the flippers. Flippers, I would almost guarantee are going to say go ahead and do it because they want it sold. And if they're going to get free advertising, mine as well. And there's my beautiful pop-up. I love that. You guys can see that later on. I'm not going to bore you with that. $50 app. So we're good with the Pinterest part of it? Okay. So I got this cool app today. I can actually, this is going to be like my highlight of the day right here.
Ask another question before you move on.
No.
If the other items that you have on there, are you linking those back to your website as well, or is it
just the real estate stuff? Yeah, because you still want to try and keep it social. You know, it is a social media website. You are going to put up your stuff about work, but just same thing like with Facebook. If you always posted stuff about work, unfriend. He's a commercial, advertisement all day long. People aren't going to relate to that, but eventually you'll start. I mean, I get 5 or 6 followers every day for Pinterest, and they like my photos. They go through my boards. They see what's going on because you're not going to do it every day. But there is going to be a day where you're bored and you're at your in-laws and you're just going through stuff because there's a lot of interesting stuff on there to look at, and you'll be repinning and liking stuff, and everyone does it. I do it, and I'm not going to say I do this every single day because I don't, but I probably go through Pinterest maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Do you have a business Facebook page?
I do.
So you have a separate personal and a business one, right?
I do have the fan page. Off topic, but I've always pushed against using the fan page. The only reason I kind of use the fan page now is because the events work better on the fan page than on a personal page. That's the only reason why I made a new one and started doing it. Otherwise, I would be just using my personal page. Is the fan page, to get a lot of people to like it, I think I have like 102 likes right now, right? It's probably taken me about 4 months, maybe 5 months to get to that level. And I mean, yeah, you get the analytics, but it's just harder to get people to engage with it because it takes more work on your part. You have to stop speaking from your personal page and only use your fan page, right? Because if they get all the information from your personal page, why would they like you over here? It makes no sense, right? I mean, if you can get something for free versus pay for it, what are you going to do? Get it for free. So same thing, if they don't have to like you, because everyone doesn't want to like because it's that recommendation thing, people are, I don't know. Things have just changed, so people aren't going to do it. So you can do it. It's just going to take longer to do it. And I'm getting the likes slowly, organically, I guess, the way I call it. And it's working out, but I'm not pushing the fan page as my number one thing. The only thing my fan page is really for is just for my events. That's the main thing. That's all it's really geared for. So let's see if I can get this going again.
Sorry about that.
No, no worries. Yeah, I got this cool app, and I can sync up my iPhone with my Mac, and bam, I love that. So now you guys can see all the apps that I'll be doing on here now. So if you go into Camera 360, oh, well, I'll go back one more time real quick here. Okay, can you guys see that still?
Yes.
All right, so you see the app Camera 360. So if you guys have an iPhone,
I have an iPhone, but I don't have
okay, you don't have the app yet. Okay, and you have a Droid.
No, I have an
Oh,
iPhone as well.
Oh, you do? Okay, good.
Is
We're an all Apple group.
HDR FX, is that the one
That was another one I was using, but I like the Camera 360 better.
The reason I asked that was the camera 360. Oh, okay.
Right here on the bottom right.
yellow.
Right.
Yeah, I like the Camera 360 better. It gives me a better image it just looks a little bit better for me, so that's why I use it. There is some more features I wish that they had, like being able to export automatically into Instagram and directly into Pinterest, but those are things that can come on. It just takes me an extra step or two to do these things. So, no, you win some, you lose some. I'd rather have the look and take an extra step than not that good of a look and have that feature. So once you get the Camera 360 app, you're going to open it up, and you can take a new picture, or you can go into your pictures, and you can go over to import, go into your camera roll, and these are all pictures that you've already taken. So what do you do when you're at a property? Number one thing is make sure that the day it's got to be a sunny day, number one. If there's not enough light, it's not going to look that well. And make sure that when you're taking the picture of the photo, whether it's your camera or your real expensive camera, your phone or your real expensive camera, you don't want to have the sun directly hitting the lens. If it does that, you're going to get a overexposed image, and this isn't going to work. You need to have some light, but not a whole lot of light, because with these programs, it's going to do it all for you. It's going to overexpose it, add the shadow and the detail and all these crazy things that you don't know just yet, but I'll show you guys. Okay? So
it has to be done from that phone. Like if you have a separate camera, you can't import it to the.
you could, if you could, you can import pictures into your iTunes and link them back into your phone. Okay? If you want to make a small investment, I'd recommend getting Photoshop. I think you can get Photoshop for like $200, I want to say. Well, maybe not a small investment, but relatively small investment, but you'll be able to polish the image a lot more. Okay, what you can do on your phone. So the phone thing, I just do it because when I'm on the go, I can do it on the road, and I don't have to actually come back to the office and sit and do it, right? Because all of us, we get to a property, we're waiting on our clients for 5 or 10 minutes. We can do a little bit of something while we're waiting there, right? So that's the only reason why I do it like that on the road. So let's see, find a picture, a good picture here. This might be a good one. All right.
As you're doing that, Adobe Photoshop is through Adobe?
Yes. There is another system out there. I haven't used it personally. I believe it's called, I forget. I had the name of it, but I can't remember it now. I'll email it to you guys. But there's another one out there. It's just $100, I believe. But I don't know if it has this tool that Photoshop has called HDR toning. And it literally, it's one click and it's done. You don't have to do anything. You can adjust it the way you want it, but it's going to give you that crazy look that you're looking for. So after you import your image, okay, this isn't probably going to work out too well. Let's see here.
That's the file you have, right?
Yeah. Upgraded to professional grade. Let's see here. I'm just trying to find another image. Alright, here's one. This one actually will work. Alright. You guys see that image?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? I bet if I turn this light off, it'll look a lot better. Look better?
Yeah.
Yes.
Clear.
And on your computer, they're going to look much better than this. So, all right. So, once you have it loaded where you can do your effect, you're going to see the effect button down there on the bottom left. Go ahead and click on that, and then it's automatically going to do this, but you're going to click on effect again. Okay, and this is going to give you your different effects. So you have random, magic, skin enhancement, Lomo, light color, HDR. HDR is the one that I only pretty much use. It has the effect that I'm looking for. So go ahead and click on HDR. So you can see what it's already done. If I lighten it up, it brightens the image up, right? Or I can do it even more. I can make that orange real bright and the sky real blue. So you guys probably can't see it too well on there. But as I'm changing it, it does really alter the image. Okay, so you can keep going through all the different options that you want. Okay. You even have black and white if you wanted to do black and white. But you can keep going through all these images, and once you're done, you're going to click on Save. Okay?
Does that save it as a new picture? Or?
Yes. Yeah, once you click Save, it's going to go back in your photo preview, and you're going to have to send it, export to camera roll, and of course, you're always going to want to do high definition. So you just export it out. And all done. Once we're done with the image, we can hop back over to Pinterest app, right? Because you guys will get this as well. Click on photo on the bottom in the middle. You guys see that one? Okay. Okay, and then you can go ahead and describe your pin and share it on Twitter, Facebook, and then make sure to select the board that you want. And this one's going to be for my real estate ventures. All right, so I've already, I think I just shared this one out on Instagram, so I'm not going to upload it. But that's how you would do it on the phone. Sound good? Ready to move on? All right. Let's close down this app. Now this is the bread and butter. Can you guys see that image pretty well? So this one looks probably a lot better, right? Let's see. I'm going to go full screen mode on this. So you can see this image was taken with my Nikon, my $600 camera. So looks kind of dull, right? Not too pretty. Clear, but not interesting, right? You wouldn't stop to look at it. So in Photoshop, you click on Image. You're going to come over to Adjustments. And all the way down here, it's going to say HDR toning. Okay, this is the main thing, the main button that all you're going to really have to do is click on HDR toning. It's going to give you a dialog box. So automatically it's going to brighten it up slightly, right? It's slightly altered, looks a little bit cleaner. The greens look a little bit greener. The blues look a little bit bluer. But still, we could probably do better, right? So over here you have presets. And it's going to have a bunch of different presets that you can choose from. But to get the look that I have on Facebook, you're going to click on More Saturated. And voila. So 2 clicks and it took my photo from that to that. Big difference, right? You're going to stop and look. You're going to be like, you're going to think that was a $1,000 picture right there. Now, in here, you can still keep adjusting things. So probably the main ones that you might want to use is like detail. So if you watch slowly, you'll be able to see things like right in here that'll give more detail, and right in here as well. So if I keep increasing it, it detailed the whole photo. So you can see how much it changes the image, right? So probably a little bit too much detail, but I'd probably leave it right there. Also, you can increase and decrease shadows. So this black spot, we might be able to make that disappear if we do this right. So if I keep increasing it, maybe not. Is it disappearing anywhere?
Yeah, on the stairs.
Yeah, it is. So you can see how it brightens it up. So it does darken it. If I leave it dark, or I can put it all the way to the highlight. So you can see it up just a little bit more. You can also change the highlight, right? So it's adjusting the sky, making it more white. You can also change the exposure. This is why you don't want an overexposed image when you take it, because you can adjust it in here. Very simple. Okay, and then you can also adjust your gamma if you want to do that as well. So some of these things I don't really know. You're just going to play with them and see how they look. Adjust it to your taste. And then again, you have more down here for color. You can adjust the saturation. Right? So if I take the saturation out, it makes the image look dull again. I put it all back, and I mean, it's just night and day. And then also with vibrance, you can increase the vibrance and decrease it. Right? So you're going to probably want your vibrance high as well to get all that color out of the image. Once you're done, click OK, and then you can save the image as a regular JPEG right out of there. You don't really have to do anything.
Now this process and program is in place of if you have the iPhone application, the Camera 360 that does it automatically.
Yes, this process would be, well, if you can make the investment, I would suggest doing this for your own listings, just because it's gonna make it look spectacular. I mean, may not work for every home, but I see it on a lot of flips right now. all these investors are doing the HDR image, and I mean, it makes the houses look really nice. Because when the buyers are going to look at them, they're going to go, wow, that looks really clean. And you're not going to do an oversaturated image like this on there, right? You're going to do it a little bit more normal. So if I go back into my HDR toning,
So with the quick question with that Photoshop program, is it different? Like, let's say if you don't have a Mac, you have, let's say, like the HP or something like that.
you can still get it. It works for both. Yeah, they have both. Yeah, they have both. So like if you're, I mean, for me, I'd probably do it that saturated anyways, just because I want people to automatically look and get that recognition. But even if you're just going to be doing something very simple, you know, from doing it from this to this is a big difference. It's still a really huge difference. It makes that picture look a lot better. But you can still increase the saturation, make it, see, just these little adjustments, right? I made it real bright green now. And let's see, I want to open that up again, so we're going to, increase the shadow, make that lighter on the stairwell, right? And I want more detail, so we're going to, well, too much detail.
And that's how you will upload it on the MLS too, right?
Yes, yep. Right, and then you can maybe adjust the exposure, make it look a little bit brighter, or maybe you want a little bit, it's probably too dark, maybe about right there, right? And then adjust my vibrance again, so you can do this all manually still. You can really increase the image and make it look something spectacular. You know, from that to that is a big night and day difference, and that's the look that you want to try and go for, especially for your own listings. If you can make your listing look like this, you're going to drive up the traffic a lot more. I guarantee it. People are going to stop and look because the image looks too good. You know, people are going to say, wow, the grass is really green, and it could be dead. You know, you're just making it look that bright green. So
It wouldn't really matter if you take a picture from your iPhone or from a regular
nope,
camera.
does not matter. It's still
going
going to go into here, yeah. If you're going to use Photoshop, doesn't matter where you take it. The only recommendation I do use with Photoshop is to, if you have a nicer camera with better megapixels, I would try using it. If you don't have it, the iPhone's going to work great. It's just you can get a little bit bigger of an image, and there's going to be more detail to it. I always like going large,
Right.
and then I can always shrink it.
Yeah.
You know, you can't go small and expand it.
How many megapixels would you recommend?
Maybe like a 12 megapixel camera, but you probably won't. I think mine's like a 16 or 18. The higher megapixel you go, just the larger the photo can get. I probably don't use the highest setting because if I do, it's like, I think each picture was like 16 megabytes if I use the highest setting. So I think I do like 2 megabytes per photo. So I'm like my photo size can come out to the size of my screen, I believe, and it'll be perfectly proportioned. It won't be stretched. So. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You can, you know, start creating these nice, instead of virtual tours, maybe you're going to do also a slideshow with it on your website, so you can start tagging more photos, more search engine result going back to your website because you have 50 photos for one property. So you can really fine tune it, and with the images, again, you're going to really increase your traffic because the more people love pictures already when they buy a house, right? When they look at it, they're shopping, they want to see pictures. So if you can do this and separate yourself from everyone else, they're going to like you that much more. It's just the facts. So after you're done with this in Photoshop, you can click on OK. Go up to File, Save for Web and Devices. And this is recorded too, so if you miss it, don't worry about it. And now you can see right here, my image size is 2,000 pixels by 1,500 tall. So it's too large, so I'm going to reduce it by, say, 50%. Nope, probably by about 25%. Right? And now my image is going to be that big. So that's probably the perfect size right there. And it's going to look clean and ready to go. Okay, once you're done, you can click on Save. Now in Photoshop, it'll give you two options, Original and Optimized. I would go with the Optimized image just because it's a smaller file, and it's going to load a lot quicker on your website. And that's, with the websites and internet, you got to have quicker loading. So you might lose a tiny bit of quality, but you're not enough to notice it. Okay. Once you're done, you click on Save, and you're all done. Okay. So you guys have any questions?
I have a question about stuff.
Uh-huh.
Real good
I
stuff.
say it's just good stuff.
This is that super tech savvy stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it makes a big difference. It's just, just like with anything, little things that just, makes a big difference
Yeah.
on your website and to attract people.
I was doing a training for Mike at the County Board Association of Realtors, and a lady was there for social media training, and I did it on Facebook, and she got up and she left. I'm like, you were there? So I'm like, I'm gonna do something real crazy, and let's see who shows up. So this is probably my craziest. This one I actually love doing. This is probably my favorite thing to do in real estate right now, besides cash checks.
Right.
is do this because it is a lot of fun because you really get to I don't know makes me feel not special but just it really differentiates yourself. I guess that's what it is because I know really hardly anyone can do things like this, and even if they could, they probably don't, and most people aren't going to spend the money to have a professional do it.
Right.
So
Well, they won't put the time to do it either.
yeah, well, I mean, you see how easy it was. I mean, you take a picture, you come back, load it on. Photoshop does it in 5 seconds, and you're done. So it makes it really, really easy.
I was gonna ask you, who do you use for your website?
I host it with HostGator. I use WordPress as my platform. I built it on WordPress.
Oh, okay.
So it's a blog. Yeah, my website's a blog. I mean, it looks like a regular website when you're going through it, but it's set up to be a blog. I mean, people can come on here, add comments, really start a discussion going. But this WordPress is the best way to go, I think, because it just gets found by the search engines a lot easier, and it's because you're able to add content to your site much easier. I'll give you a quick demo. I mean, I'll probably do another class on this next year. Or I will, I should say.
Is there companies that would, like, let's say if you start up with WordPress, is there companies that would, like, add verbiage to your website?
There is. I know a guy. If you give him $750 a month, he'll do everything for you. Okay, he's still gonna want input from you, but he will go ahead and take care of everything for you.
Right.
But again, with your blog, you want to try and do as much of it as you can, because he's gonna type one way, you're gonna type a different way because it's the way you speak, right? The way you talk. So I try to talk very, not slang, but very relaxed. When you see my stuff, I'm not trying to sound professional. Not that I'm not trying to sound professional, but I'm not trying to sound like I'm way up here and you're way down here.
Yeah.
I try to make it real easy to read and like I'm your friend almost,
Sure.
because that's what you want. You want people to engage with you,
Right.
and people just when they meet you, they might get a different impression. Like, hey, you're this person on your website, but in person you're something different. So I try to make it more myself. This is another fun thing that I really like doing. It doesn't take you a long time to do it. Once you're in WordPress, I'll show you real quickly what it looks like, what you have to do to create a page. So it's real simple. You enter a title. This is your body of the paragraph. You can upload a picture, and it tells you how do you want to align it. Left with the text going like this, or right with the text going like that, or in the middle with text on both sides. You just click buttons. You're not really coding anything. Then you still got everything here. You can bold it, italicize, whatever you want to do. And then as you get going, you'll get plugins. And the nicest plugin I have is WordPress SEO by Yoast. What you do is it grades your post for your content keyword. So if your content keyword was 15506 Wilder Avenue, Norwalk, California 90650, that's going to be your focus keyword, right? It's going to also be in your SEO title. It's also going to be in your meta description. It's also going to be in the content of what you wrote right here. Okay? So it's going to grade you. It's going to say, hey, all of these things match. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They all match. So you have a really good chance of matching up with search engines because everything all matches. The way search engines work is they want the keyword phrase to be in the URL of your page. They want it to be in the title. They want it to be in the body of your paragraph. They want it also in your meta description. Okay, everything needs to match. So it works really well with properties because you put in that full address, and then no matter how they type it in, it's always going to pop out still. So if you cut it short and you put avenue or ave instead of avenue, if somebody puts avenue, they might miss you, or you might get pushed down on the list. Okay, so you want the biggest keyword that you can have and kind of spread it about 5% through your post of what you write. So, right here, this is a beautiful property beautiful property located off, blah, 15506, blah, blah, blah. Type some more about it. To get a showing of 155, please contact me at the number below or fill out the form. Or, yeah, something like that. So you're not going to be constantly throwing in that keyword, but just enough where it says, hey, this is what I'm talking about, is this. And then once you're done, you click on what category you want it to get published in. And then you can also add some tags if you want it to be showing up as other things like, great first time buyer home, 3.5% down, agents, whatever. You can tag it with other things. So when people are done reading your post at the bottom, it'll say related articles, stuff like that. They can click on these different tags to go to other different little categories. So what you're really trying to do with WordPress is increase the time that people are spending on your website by giving them great content. Okay, so my website is geared mainly for agents, but I get a lot of time on my website. I get a lot of contact requests for people wanting to get their license, and it's because I've geared it just for agents. Yeah, I get leads for buyers and sellers, but it's mainly geared for agents. So once you're done, you would click on publish, and that would be it. And you're all done. So go with everything? That was a pretty easy, quick class.
It was. I have a question regarding the app, the Camera 360 app. I downloaded it, but how do you have? Because it's letting me take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
But how do I use it for pictures that I already have on my phone?
You have to go to import. There should be a button that says import.
Under settings, or?
No, on the main page. Not there. I'm gonna shut.
Oh, gotcha.
You got it.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, so I'm gonna shut down the recording. Thanks, guys, for coming out, and this will be out here pretty soon on the website and YouTube.